So what is a myth? A myth is a commonly believed but false idea. A commonly believed but false idea. So I have a group of myths that I've heard from funeral professionals like you. Now, none of you have said this, but I've heard this from others. And so here are a few of the myths that I've heard as I've served the funeral industry for the last 7 years. Myth number one, advertising doesn't work for me. Word of mouth is our best form of advertising. Well, of course it is. Word of mouth is the best form of advertising for every business, but it is incredibly slow. I'm going to show you today how advertising works by showing you the 4 pillars of effective local advertising. But let's face it, advertising can work. I mean, Coca-Cola has proven that advertising works. Geico has proven that advertising works. And if all we're talking about is effective advertising within a radius of about 15 miles of your business, then you can afford to have advertising that works too. The second myth, I don't want to appear opportunistic and sound like a vulture. And this is one of those subliminal myths where it's not readily admitted, but when you poke a little bit and ask questions, this is something that we hear a lot. I don't want to appear opportunistic and sound like a vulture. Well, here's an ad from the Good Hands people. Leave love, not stress. Okay? So there's an ad. Leave love. Who's leaving? Who's leaving? Okay? Or how about this one? A small price to pay to protect your loved ones. Protect them from what? Okay? Protect them from death? Is that a possibility? I mean, if all these insurance companies, if all these guys can advertise, why, you can too. Myth number 3, everybody knows who we are. Everybody knows we're here. No, they don't. This is, I saw this. This is by North American Moving Services. And this is a flyer that talks about Americans living close to home. And look at that. Only 12% have lived in their hometown for more than 30 years. In other words, people that grew up and stayed there. And about 25% polled have lived in their city for up to 10 years. But see, these numbers will show you that people come and go. People move. And because they move, funeral homes just can't rely on the fact that they've been there forever and everybody knows who they are. And the sad thing about Americans today and loyalty and consumerism is that people forget. There's no doubt about this, that people forget. Myth number 4, I don't want to advertise. I don't advertise because I don't know what to say. Now, I can tell you that, we figured out what to say, and today I'm going to help you understand what to say and how to say it. And so if you have a copy of my book, How Facebook Works for Funeral Homes, the whole back of this book has topics that you can actually talk about and advertise in your business. And then myth number 5, funeral home advertising is negative and depressing. Funeral home advertising is depressing and negative and depressing. Well, I can tell you, this is a new client that we have, Green Hills Funeral Home in Middlesboro, Kentucky. And if you can look at this post, you can see 363 Facebook users liked or loved their post. And this is what they were saying about it. Louise said, absolutely the best. Betty said, thanks for helping my family through more than one. Amy said, the best. I'll never forget how well they cared for my dad. And Regina said, cannot say enough wonderful things about this couple. They got 88 comments on their first post on Facebook within a few days. And so if that's true, then obviously what they're doing, who they are and what they're doing sure isn't depressing or negative. In fact, to the contrary, it's the kind of messaging that helps you understand how wonderful you are.